Hey guys, Chrome Tyrrell here. Today we're going to be beating up on some gargoyles at the Slayer Tower. Alright, I mentioned this in the description, but of course, being me, I'm going to mention it anyway. Menifus right now, so I'm going to teleport. While it's doing its thing, I'll be jabbering. Anyway, to fight gargoyles, you need level 75 Slayer and a rock hammer. Hammer to your tool belt, as you should. And if you're going to do this for any length of time, I'd actually recommend paying, I think it's like 400 Slayer points. Deliver killing blows quicker so that when the rock hammer gets to like half health or 10% health or whatever the percentage is, please smash it for you. Okay, so from the Canifis lodestone, we're on our way there. I've got runes I've got a gem bag. Gem bag is essential for this because of the gems they drop. The rune arrows, that was from the last trip, so, and they drop them, I think it's 40 at a time, so they're pretty valuable. Bring a well to improve the drops. Full lunar, which you can get from Lunar Diplomacy. I think they make you make it yourself. Anyway, Staff of Light, which at the time that I bought it, which was about a day or two ago, for about 520k. You'll also want to have runes for good water spell because they're weak to that. I think you might be able to use two-handed weapons as well. Don't quote me on that. And runes for alching and some food, a little bit of food. It looks like drumsticks, but it's not. It's desert soul. I think it's pretty cool. All right, you want to go to the first floor of the Slayer Tower, go to the northeast corner like this by the Banshees. Do not attack them. Have earmuff protection, otherwise their wail will drain your stats like you would not believe. And just walk up the stairs. Now the cool part about this is if you don't have a nose peg, specters are on the second floor, but if you don't have a nose peg, you won't even stop on the second floor if you're right by the part where the specters are. And I hope they keep it the way it is. All right. Okay. So now we're here. Staff of Light has also has a chance to gain rune spending, by the way. Make sure you have high level alchemy if you can do that. As far as stats, you do need level 75 Slayer. I can show you my stats just for comparison, whatever. 76 Mage, I'm doing Water Wave, which I think 74 Mage. 65 Mage, okay, so it's not too bad. Like 60 defense. I think 60 defense in Magic to wear. I can't quite remember. And then you just take it to him. All right, 2 grand right off the bat. And a charm too. I'm gonna be doing like a loot video or anything because that's, I don't know. There may be a time for that, but that time is not today. I don't know if I would have the patience for it. As in combat, not like stay around for like forever or anything. Okay, Natty Full Helm, that's a good drop. You see this? Your spells draw this power completely from your weapon. So I guess it has a chance to replace elemental runes, at least elementals, from what I'm thinking. The thing I like about the Staff of Light is, other than that, is that it has a pretty cool special attack, which I should probably get on my action bar if I'd like to use it. Let's go to Constitution abilities here real quick. Let's see, here we go. Insight, Ice Asylum, Power of Light, here we go. Let's drag it over this direction. I think all melee damage you take for a certain amount of time or whatever. Oh, by 50% for 1 minute. Let's try it. Or kicks. All right, I wasn't very impressed by that effect at all. We're here for combat. Loot. There's loot too. If you get beat up, well, you should bring food. I probably should have brought more food myself, most definitely. You plan to stay here a lot. There's a place I'll show you guys. You can run to if you need to use adrenaline to heal yourself. Right through this area. Oh, somebody's already opened the door. Usually this door is closed. So like if you need to go in there, you can just like go over here, tell you, and you can just use adrenaline after you've gone on a combat to heal yourself. Do a terrible amount of healing, but it'll do in a pinch if you need to. All right. Ooh, a rune longsword. Nice. That's what's cool about this. Is the GE price on this is 17,588. But it alks for 19,200. So right now, profitable alk. Very profitable. Something to keep in mind. That's also something that alking on the fly, so to speak, would help out with. Just kind of something I picked up almost by accident, actually. Okay, it's 36K, 38K. And this is mostly from the Ring of Wealth, I'm speculating. I thought there was supposed to be a big shining light around me or something. I don't know. Like I'm being struck. As long as the effect still takes place, I'm fine with it. Anyway, what I was going to say before I got beat up was to me, I like the Staff of Light doesn't degrade. I think the word degrade or degradable is kind of like a swear word to me a little bit. So I try to avoid weapons like that, even though I do have a what do you call that? A crystal bow, so that it's 200K at the last charge isn't too bad. I mean, there's other staffs like the Polypore staff where you like 15,000 fire runes to recharge it. That's a little bit on the much side for me when you can pay whatever 520K once, like lose anything. So you don't have to keep paying it over and over. And I probably should have brought a teleport out of here, but I didn't do that either. Usually I would bring like the ectophile or this ring works. You can cabbage port with that. That works well. If you want to go like other methods like Tokuzo, other killing, you can use that, bring that with. Otherwise, this is pretty much just knocking the gargoyles for a loop constantly. This is another spot. You can get a gargoyle stuck on the corner, and they can just chill out there. Sometimes you can get them either stuck on here sometimes, or like so they can't reach and attack you. So it's not really a safe spot, but it's kind of like an spot you can use. Why didn't it pick that up? There we go. Easier for me the longer you stay here because they eventually become unaggressive. And you can take longer stretches to heal yourself if you need to. Elking in the midst of combat is rather handy. I was actually gonna excuse me. I was actually gonna ditch this lunar armor until I realized that it's actually slightly better than Mystic. Which is what I was using. Which is like basically. I mean, I'm not running around with Arms. And I also can't use Soul Split. Which I don't think these things have bones anyway, so. They're stone creatures, so. During a Dragon Tooth necklace, Infinite Prayer actually wouldn't work here. Ooh, another rune wall. And they do, I also forgot to mention that they do mob you. Yes, I'm a schmo. I'm going after the 2K gems. Don't sue me. 36.8. Turns into 38.4. I like how when you actually pick up a gem, it puts it directly into the bag for you. If the bag's there, oh, Addy boots. I don't like it how the character like runs out. No sense of self-preservation, you know? It's like it's legal to stay back behind the barrier, like if you want to. Also, these are quite good XP. 758 XP each for whatever. I'm gonna have to try this some other time with a spear or some other two-handed weapon. Because I thought maybe since they were flyers that it wouldn't work to use a melee weaponry. Free to be wrong. Sometimes if you can get to where, well, with this setup specifically, there's sometimes where I can kill them in like 4 moves. If you can get an asphyxiate in there, they go down real quick. Oh, they're starting to become aggressive. Maybe. Soon the real fun starts, because then you can stop to heal whenever you want. Actually use less food. Well, that's my experience. Anyway. If I do end up being able to use a two-handed weapon, I should probably train attack here. I get it levels like crazy. Although, depending on the fact they're stone creatures, they might be uh, strong against slash or pierce. So having a melee weapon, two-handed melee weapon, may not even work. Just something to try. More rune arrows, very cool. And the Mire fungi is pretty cool too. There's a potion or 2 or 3 that uses those, and they're useful for charging druid pouches if you haven't gotten the Ouroboros pouch from Temple Trekking yet. Then you can just rock it here till your heart's content, or you need a bank. If you can make it to the stairs and end up at the Banshees, if the Banshees won't auto attack you, as soon as you leave combat, you can just teleport back to Canifis and run south to the bank to restock if you need to. Which reminds me, I'm probably going to have to buy some more. But I'll have some money to do it, so that's always good. The one thing about elemental runes, they're cheap, though. Well, relatively. Not compared to bloods that are like 300, 400, whatever they are. If I was doing ancients, I mean, could probably do that if you're willing to like shell out for the blood runes. Unless it can replace bloods too, I don't know. But up until now, I only tested with elementals. And you would also, if I can click that helmet, that would be wonderful. Oh, come on, there we go. And you'd also have to have done Desert Treasure. Fairly involved to get access to the ancient book. That had one of, I was just speaking out just for the heck of it. I think that quest had one of the saddest endings ever. Not for the character, for Azanandra, or however you pronounce his name. I think that presented the Majorat race, kind of a multifaceted type of thing, because I felt sorry for him. He's a Majorat. But I did not feel sorry for General Khazard at all. The boss at the end of, I think it's Fight Arena. I didn't feel sorry for him one bit. And he's a Majorat too. So are Anakra and the camel guy at the end of Anakra's Lament. I think they're Majorat too. Anyway, didn't mean to give you a history on Majorat there. I'm not very far on that quest line to speak of. I only did Anakra's Lament so that I could get access to the granite quarry that's southwest of the Bandit Lodestone, because granite sells for good money. Well, relatively good money. If you get a big piece of it, it's worth, well, last I checked, somewhat over 2K. And that lodestone is really far. It's really not that far. So you could like use the ring of kinship to like get close to a bank or whatever other ring you'd want to have. You want to bring water skins. We've done crocodile tears, which will give you immunity to desert heat, or dealing with Scabaros to make enchanted water tiaras. Those are helpful too, very helpful, especially since with the enchanted water tiaras, you don't need to worry about an inventory space for water skins, although, if I'm not mistaken, the Wikia mentioned that there's a well or some kind of water source near the quarry if you needed it to fill water skins, so it's doable. It's not like I filled a gem bag or anything. There you go. For some reason, my loot all Shortcut isn't working very well there. Usually I can press the enter key on my keyboard and it'll just respond right away. Spacebar. And this is not, these creatures usually aren't, like, I don't think of them overall as very boring, because a lot of the drops are valuable and it's like reasonably okay. If you have a Explorer's Ring 4, you get, I think it's 30 free casts of High Alchemy a day. I think that's it. But I can't remember. The only reason why I bought these runes instead of that ring is I can't remember when my ring cools off, so that I could bring it for several free casts of High Alchemy. And the coin drops are lucrative, kind of. I should probably put chain on the ability bar too, but I didn't really want because you can get really over your head sometimes. I find that if I'm at a place where I'm not familiar with it, it's like I don't want a bunch of creatures attacking me at once with no emergency teleport. Ooh, the offhand Rune Longsword. 2. Alright. GE price. And Alks for 19,200. Okay, so it's about 1,000 and some, 1,000 and change profit on that between the GE price and the High Elk. And I mean, volatile, that could change tomorrow. It's always changing. I'm just saying, I pick things up from other YouTubers to talk about, like, the difference in GE and High Alchemy prices, because there is a difference. 89% sure the High Elk price is set in stone and it's not going to change. Anyway, that wasn't meant to be a joke. But if you want to laugh, I wouldn't be disappointed. Lots of Addy boots. I'm going to have to get more nature runes. Well, not this second, but eventually I will. Ooh, nice. And this is a bit of a different approach for me because I don't have a lot of mage gear to speak of. I mean, I'm mostly, because I have 99 ranged, focused on a lot more, so I have slightly better gear for that. I mean, Royal Dragonhide, it's not like top of the line or anything to speak of, but for mage, I basically Mystic and this, and that's it. And I wouldn't bring anything here I'd be afraid to lose anyway. More rune arrows, yay. And overpower. Boom. Oh, omni power. Well, some sort of power, I guess. And also, if I'm not mistaken, it's also a level 75 weapon. So you need 75 mana to wield it. But I mean, I would have probably ended up using a Mystic Water Staff or a Mystic Water Battle Staff anyway. Because I don't have gear that costs multi-millions. And like I had said, my stats don't allow for anything like Soul Split. Since these have no bones, that wouldn't even work here. So, I mean, as effectively. The only problem with this is me being sorry about leaving. Because then they become aggressive again. You gotta stay here for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever it happens to be until they decide to slack off again. Like some kind of territorial dog or something. I don't know. You're in my property. Get off my lawn. The only thing about partial safe spotting is that it hampers kills per hour. That's the only thing wrong with it. It's like partial safe spotting, faux safe spotting, whatever. You know, I haven't even looked to see if I unlocked any more mage abilities. Because I'm like really bad at that kind of thing. It's like, oh, I can unlock a new whatever. Oh, whatever. Good for smithing. Well, eventually. Also like the fact that they drop from bars and steel on up and they're noted. So that's like worth it. If you're gonna stay here for hours, I would say, depending on what your goals are, that could be worth it for you. Wild magic. Alright. Let's do the adrenaline heal thing. Oh, alright. You can stop it from draining by attacking again. That's pretty cool. I check and auto retaliate because there are some things for some quests I remember having to do. Missing my mummy, man, that was hard. That was, well, it was a pretty tough quest because you've got to go through a temple full of traps. RuneScape seems to have a lot of those temples full of traps. Anyway, I kept messing up, and so I was reading different stuff on there that said make sure to turn auto retaliate off. Then it's like, I expect it to be on, then it's off. It's like, yeah, that's not how this works. Looks like a little bubble or a powder of light stuff. 50% damage reduction for 1 minute. And I've never had this happen before, but you would also have to bank if you got a full gem bag. Which, I mean, I only have the regular version. So it can only hold up to like gems. Inspect it here. 21 emeralds and 9 rubies. Okay, we got a lot to go on that. I probably won't be hanging with you guys for too much longer. Not on the stream at least, because I hope I've given you every bit of information you need to know to kill these things. I mean, I don't do like kills per hour or anything like that. This is not like a super duper, like a guide or anything. Guys, what this was like. The power of light fades. Your resistance to melee attacks returns to normal. Age, you're gonna get your butt kicked. Ha, Welch. Actually, technically, as a ranger, you think cloth wouldn't be as resistant to swords. I know a couple of people who would probably dispute that. But it seems as far as the game goes, with melee, you can still get beat up if you have just armor on here. Or should I say, fancy cloth. Well imbued cloth armor. With magical properties. Come on, man. There we go. Let's examine that loot stuff. It's like to loot an area or something like that. And I'd just be able to press a button. I don't have to bring food to somewhere. I'm all for it. Sometimes that's difficult because of the stopping. Yeah. So. Oh, anti-bars are 3K a piece. I mean, because if I didn't have to leave to do anything, you could basically stay here forever. As long as you had runes for alching stuff. Alch 1 pair of Addy boots, the second pair free. Ooh, another full helm. And this is probably, in all honesty, this is mostly the Ring of Wealth talking. Say, 2 in a row. Wow. Made like 40K in like a minute. Whoop. Another thing you've got to be careful with to make sure you see the alchemy symbol before you press the button. Huh. Halfway to 77 mage. Felt like nothing. And then also sometimes I favor melee over mage. Well, because my melee stats, well, all around, my melee stats are probably a little bit better slightly than my mage stats. Like, because of the extra things you have to take with you, kind of space that might be better fit for other things, depending on what you're doing. But this is fine. Elkin gives you plenty of room. There we go. There's like 3 rune full helms in the past couple minutes. Let's heal up. And these guys only have 6,700 HP. So it's not. I wasn't killing Addy Dragons, or it was more like I was trying to kill Addy Dragons the other day and like running because I was flunking out, kind of. I'll find a way around it though. And I have like 1,000 hit points or whatever it is, which is like just when I'm trying to kill something that has twice as many hit points that I do, practically. So, yeah, that didn't go over well at all. And another thing that I think is really cool about this is that, or like higher level for these guys, the Slayer Tower is a quest requirement free zone, so it's another thing I like about it. It doesn't get a little crowded though. And they're in full helm, don't mind if I do. And I might actually try that Maybe not on another stream, but I might just try it on my own time. See if you can kill some kind of melee weapon, if you can do it efficiently or not. Because, I mean, you might be able to do crush weapons or some other setup. Because if I can save a bit of space, you know, and it doesn't P gains or the rate. Because I figured if I had bought a weapon, well, I have a Bandos God Sword already. If I bought a weapon like a Zamorak Spear, when I last checked it, as of the making this video, would be like 1 day ago, basically. It was like, I think it's 800K. I mean, if it could pay for itself, I'd be able to kill these things much faster. Because, I mean, I don't have like a Nox Scythe or anything like that. I mean, if I had it, I'd be bringing it, believe you me. But I don't know different weapons as other players might, where it's like, okay, the Nox Scythe has some kind of advantage. I think it like hits the 2 squares away, and if you need that, then having a God Sword is pretty well worthless. Because I think it's only 1 space away kind of thing for that. And shattered him in 1 hit. And like I said, I mean, it might be good to do that, to like get on Ancients and do. Well, problem with that is for me that I'm not very like super mage, so I can't really do like the really good ice spells like Ice Barrage or anything like that, I don't think. So I don't know if there'd be any multi-target water spells available to me. Another pair of rune plate legs. Oh yeah, I guess I do have a set of expensive armor. It's just a set of full dragon is all. I guess, I mean, I consider that expensive at this stage. Regular experience with this game, I consider that set of armor fairly expensive. So I would probably bring that here though. No Bandos yet. I was kind of wanting to look into that with the offensive bonuses. I could get more kills per hour. It sounds like a good trade-off. Because things can't damage you if they're dead. Two-thirds of the way to 77 mage. Cool. I'm thinking I want to leave here to try to just bank and see what to do next, and they just keep dropping me the expensive stuff. So for a little bit longer. It's also pretty cool that they drop all the different colored charms too. Sometimes certain monsters only drop one. I mean, if they're a better chance at dropping one versus another, I mean, like gold, like I'm pretty sure Hellhounds only drop gold charms all the time, but they do it fairly often. Whereas these guys drop all kind of charms, but it's kind of erratic. Maybe if I can make it to a million GP gain in the next several minutes, maybe we can make that the cutoff point for today. I don't know, just to see. We'll just see how I feel. I mean, I wouldn't need to bank. I had plenty of runes and stuff. You don't seem to be beating up on too bad. Full Hell might be closer to leaving than I think to that million GP. Oh, and another set of plate legs. Now we're getting real close. Just under 140 GP to go. KGP to go. So another 140 grand. Oh, I forgot about the actual coin drops there for a second. Boom. 2, 3 hits. Oh, he hung on at the end there. Expecting him to go down within 2 to 3 hits. So then 130K to go. Oh, another rune, full helm. Two rune helms. So now I got another 86 to go. Rune plate legs. Should probably out to see where we're at. Ooh, about 22 left now. Ooh, offhand rune longsword. $999K. Will it put us over? Yes. A little over 1 mil. All right. Let's check on our gems real quick. Just for fun. Wow. Mostly emeralds and rubies, but that's a lot of uncut gems. That's why gem bag's good on this. And I mean, I wasn't typically. This has been about, well, I wasn't being like setting a stopwatch or anything, so I don't know exactly. But I'd say this was about between 45 minutes and an hour, maybe a little longer. So million GP and AUX said like 30K for that, just estimating. 45K for that, 70K, probably a good another 100K in drops right here, not including the gems. All right, that'll mark the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, you can drop a like down there, whatever you'd rather. You can subscribe if you really enjoyed it, if you want to do that. Just getting started here as far as that goes. Now I want to kind of find out where I'm at with like what I'd like to do for RuneScape, because a lot of people do RuneScape stuff, and I want to find out where I fit inside that. So I just do just like talk to you guys, try to tell you what I know about the game, which I know a lot of people know a lot more than me, but I like try to explain it as we're going. Try to do my best on that. All right, so on my own time, I think I'm going to test that. Oh, they've become aggressive again. I'm going to finish off this guy. That melee theory. It's like if I have to buy a Zami spear, I'll buy one. It's not too big a deal. I mean, it is kind of a big deal. But anyway. All right. Enough of me jabbering. After I drain this adrenaline, I'm going to port back to Canifis and change out. I will see you guys next time. Until then, this Chrome Material will keep on gaming. And I'll see you guys again in the next video.